We are here on Twitchy Tuesday to celebrate Capricorn season. I just want to start off by first saying happy Sagittarius new moon. It is 12/12. That means the new moon is active. I think the moon is actually like direct right around this time. So welcome to this amazing episode. We are going to dive in deep and embrace all things Capricorn season. We are going to embark on a journey of building, hard work, ambition, and we also have Vesta, our asteroid, our goddess asteroid of devotion in its retrograde journey. And she is headed back to Gemini. So we're going to level set on that as well. Get ready to dive deep into Capricorn. We've got a few things happening. And as always, we will end this episode with the Twitchy tip of the week, starting this episode with cleaning out the broom closet. So let's go ahead and get that started. So this week, 12/12, Sagittarius new moon. We are here. I don't know about anybody else. You can pop it in the chat, but I wanted nothing more today than to be cozy. I have been in a cozy mood all day. Just wanted to have like Christmas vibey music on. That's what we've been listening to all day. Just easy, like ease and grace. This whole day has really been about comfort and ease and grace for me. And I'd love to know how everybody else is kind of feeling into this moon. We did a whole episode on it, the last one, so you can go check that out if you're kind of having a different experience or a similar experience, want to know more about it. And tomorrow, the 13th, we've got a few things happening. We got a pretty packed aspect day. So Mercury will station retrograde in Capricorn. So this moon, and maybe that's why I wanted to be cozy all day today, because Mercury is just like grinding to that halt right now, about ready to station retrograde. That's going to happen at 8 degrees, 29 minutes of Capricorn. We have what just popped out. We have the 9 of Wands just popped out as we're talking about. Yeah, it is. I feel this like, let's see, because there's another one that wanted to come out, the High Priestess. I love that these two are here. So let me finish out on the 13th and we'll talk about these two cards. So Mercury stationing retrograde Capricorn, 8 degrees, 29 minutes. Venus will conjunct Pallas Athena in Scorpio, 10 degrees, 9 minutes. And then Vesta retrograde in Cancer on the 13th will trine Saturn in Pisces at 1 degree, 49 minutes. So there's this 9 of Swords in the High Priestess. There is this real push and pull tomorrow and even through the rest of this week between our earthly selves, this bound earthly experience that we have, and our higher selves, where the High Priestess comes in. There is this thought and contemplation. I mean, I'll even throw Venus in here because she is conjunct Pallas Athena. This week, this is Venus's only direct aspect with another planet or point. So Venus conjunct Pallas Athena, it is in those higher octave realms. There are things that are being worked on in the 5D that we then can bring down and really align, get into. And with this Mercury stationing, I mean, it's something to station retrograde. It's something to station retrograde in Capricorn. It's something to station retrograde for the last time in the earth signs during this cycle. And knowing you're going to be heading back into the fire, knowing you're going to be heading back into the chaos, that fire of Sagittarius, it's that preparation. What do you need? It's the knowing that there is something happening out there. There is things that are going to be able to come down into this earthly realm. There are things that we can bring forward. Now, we're going to have to go and get our drive and our dedication. Again, as Mercury heads on that journey, we know Capricorn is all about the how we're going to accomplish this, like the actual action steps, versus where we're at with this High Priestess, which is the desire. The desire comes from Sagittarius. Desire comes from that fire, desire to take that action. I mean, this dude right here, he looks like he wants to do anything but take action. But that's where the high priestess can come in from and really give that level of motivation, that Sagittarian energy. We still have the sun in Sagittarius on 12/14. That sun is going to trine the North Node in Aries. 2 fire signs, given a little bit more oomph and push. That's going to happen at 22 degrees, 58 minutes. On 12/15, Mars still in Sag will be trining Chiron retrograde in Aries at 15 degrees, 31 minutes. On the 16th, you know it, the sun in Sag has to meet up with Neptune in that square. We started with a square to Saturn. We end with a square to Neptune, now direct in Pisces at 24 degrees, 55 minutes. And we will round out the week with Mercury retrograde in Capricorn, trining Jupiter retrograde in Taurus at 5 degrees, 51 minutes. To do our Mercury and Venus check-in, we'll head right into that. Like I had talked about last week, I believe, we're going to be doing a weekly Twitchy Tuesday check on our personal planets, our brother-sister combo here, Mercury and Venus, through the month of December. They have a huge role to play in the month of December, and just kind of doing those weekly check-ins, building upon Mercury's journey, Venus's journey as they get us through this month and into a brand new calendar year. So there is, I'm calling it like an impregnation of these energies. We want to maximize this effort. So last week, Venus took center stage. Venus had all the things to do all of last week. She only has this meetup with Pallas Athena this week. So now it is really Mercury's turn to take the spotlight. And now the 10 of Wands comes out, that heavy lifting. Mercury's got to pick it up. Venus did her job. Now Mercury comes in. I see like one of those baton racers where it's like Venus just handed off the baton and now it's Mercury's job to get all the way through, to pick up the slack, to make sure that the things this week are continuing to go in to maximize that effort. This is maximum effort. Maximize that effort and drive to get us to that high reward, get us to that maximum reward. So Mercury officially stationing retrograde tomorrow. I have absolutely heard the retrograde stories have started. If you're one that definitely has Mercury retrograde effects to them, that you like, people from your past come back around during every Mercury retrograde. You always have technology issues. You've had issues even in travel, since this is kind of a season of travel. I've heard those have already started. So be prepared. We talked about that. Be prepared for those sorts of things to happen. It's a powerful one. You know, we have Knight of Cups. We do have this blend of the how and the what. We have this blend of earth and fire. And it can get a bit cheeky. It can get a bit cheeky out here and festive as Queen of Cups. As Mercury does, I want one more. As Mercury does this dance this week, and Death wanted to come out. Okay. Let me put this down before more cards just start flying and we lose where we're at. Okay. So the word for the month of December, which was set out at the beginning of this year in the 2023 astrology overview, that we had 3 words that kind of defined December. We had jolly. When I think of jolly, this Knight of Cups comes to mind. Like, he is just in his power, on his steed, jolly with, you know, bringing this cup, bringing this fruition, bringing water. Water is the life force, bringing that forward to wherever he goes, whatever journey he's taking, whatever campaign he's going on, that could be just something as simple as parading around the town, parading around the kingdom, letting people know that, hey, I've got this. I've got your back, letting yourself know. We also had smoldery. Not really sure what smoldery means, but I'm feeling this as the Queen of Cups. It could be a little bit of the 10. I feel like smoldery is one of those words that have this kind of blended meaning, and depending upon where you're at in your journey and the experiences that you're going through right now, you may flip-flop between these. You may hold both of them, where smoldery can be this like, I'm exhausted, I'm being smoldered by things, my fire is being put out, I'm providing forth a lot of effort and energy, and I've got to figure this out. I've got to figure out which wands are for me and are not. Smoldery can also be this queen where it's like, I get to sit in this energy and in this vibe and enjoy. I get to bring forth and be that sovereign leader, bring forth the blessings to my kingdom, be able to see and like project and understand and love and bring all of that out there. And then we had practically obsessed. And I love that the death shows up with practically obsessed. That death is part of this picture. Being practically obsessed with the changing of the seasons. We are headed into Capricorn. Mercury is already in Capricorn, retrograding back, being practically obsessed with the process of rebirth and death, the process of bringing forth the things that need to be brought forth, the process of turning over another calendar year, the process of defining our goals and our values and getting them right, getting this balance between the how and the what with our dreams, with our movement forward, getting all of that process down, like that, being practically obsessed about that. Practical. And that's why I love that the death represents this, is because it's practical. It's not about this fanatical idea of obsession where it's like, oh, I'm obsessed with getting this, and you have no idea why. It's being practically obsessed, heading into that Capricorn energy of like that intellectual thought process. How do I actually make this happen? How do I actually hone in on this? What process can I actually play? What part of this dream is actually for me? And again, death coming in to signify that. And Mercury is helping us with all of that, helping our thought processes, helping our communication, helping each of, let me get all of them up here, helping each of these different energy signatures to figure out how, where they manifest, belong inside of our journey. And as soon as he stations, first of all, we've got this moon, active part to play in this moon. And then he's going to immediately station and work towards his second of 3 meetups with Jupiter. Jupiter being retrograde for this one and the first one. He still has meetups with Saturn, meetups with Neptune. Neptune was retrograde for the first one, not so much the second round. And the galactic center, which he is going to pass over again through this retrograde center. All of those things we have to look forward to. Then also, if that wasn't enough during this journey, 2 conjunctions with Mars, one right before he stations direct. So there's so much opportunity in all of this. And I said it when we talked about the Mercury retrograde. All of these cards, you're going to get the Mercury retrograde you deserve. How these cards manifest for you, how these cards actually show up, that is going to be on you and the choices that you're making, on the mindset that you're choosing to have, on the communication that you're choosing to have, on how you're letting a Mercury retrograde impact you in either a way that is fixed and is like supporting that a victim mentality mindset, or is taking you out of that and really working with you to elevate your thought process, be in a growth mindset, be in this expansion mindset about what can really be available. Venus, going into a Venus check-in, on the other hand, this week is really about settling into Scorpio. She has this, like, I think she's settling very nicely into Scorpio. That's been my personal experience with her energy going into Scorpio. Hanged Man, I may be the only one. Let me put that the right side. I may be the only one in this. I think it's all, again, Hanged Man. It's all about perspective. What perspective are you bringing to this? I think she's settling very nicely in Scorpio. I like that she was really active, kind of getting into Scorpio. She had this big week last week. And this week, she really gets to just completely ingrain herself into those stagnant, fixed, scorpionic waters where she can begin to do a lot of her really deep work. And outside of her conjunction with Pallas Athena, it's just this, again, riding of the waves, taking this really beautiful supportive role with the new moon today, just like Mercury is. It's perspective. It's bringing in the joy. It's bringing in whatever this Hanged Man, whatever this perspective is for you as Venus begins to work in the scorpionic areas of your natal chart. This is what she's going to be doing all week. This is her energy. And if you do want more on the full Mercury retrograde, on Venus, on the Sagittarius new moon, those are both in episode 40 and 41 of Twitchy Tuesdays. You can find them on my YouTube channel. They are up and ready right now. Five of Swords just popped out. Obviously, if you need to find it, the information is available to you. The information is there. You have to be the one to take that action to go and get the information, do that deep dive, understand more, take more of that active role. But we go over all of that in full there. The star wanted to come out too. We go over all of that there in both of those episodes. All right. Transitioning to Vesta retrograde in Gemini. Then after Vesta, we're going to head to Capricorn season. And that's going to close out our Twitchy Tuesday this week. So Vesta retrograde in Gemini. Vesta is an asteroid. She represents the divine feminine. She represents our spiritual purpose, our dedication. I love the Two of Cups coming forward, our service and our commitment. I love that the Two of Cups is present as we talk about Vesta retrograde, especially heading back into Gemini. So she's going to be kind of my overall energy signature. So again, we've got this asteroid. It's working. Vesta and the asteroids, the goddess asteroids really work on a higher plane. It's not where Venus works very personally with us individually in the earth realm. Vesta and the goddess asteroids truly represent that higher level of learning, that adjusted level of learning, the where things happen in the 5D before they happen in the 3D. And as a asteroid representing that commitment, that spiritual purpose, that dedication and the service that you not only give others, but you give yourself in your spiritual journey, thinking about her retrograding back into Gemini, she's going to retrace her steps here on how are we fulfilling ourselves through the Gemini themes of mental stimulation, conversations, knowledge, learning. Those are those Gemini things. And as she comes back, how does that fit with our spiritual purpose? How does that fit with how we have dedicated ourselves to that purpose, our commitments, not only again to others, but to ourselves, and really embracing what the intuitive nature of the divine feminine really has to offer. So how have you been working on your spiritual gifts? Are you Six of Wands? Are there things to celebrate here? Are there things that you put into place as Vesta was going through Gemini, got into Cancer, and is now retrograding back? Are there things during her journey in Gemini this year beforehand, before she went retrograde, that you are really proud of yourself on, that you did? Maybe you made a commitment to do, I don't know, 10 pages of reading a day on personal development, and that got you here. Maybe you made a meditation practice that got you here to this Six of Wands. And now that she's retrograde again, retracing these steps, it's coming back to how are we celebrating our wins and how are we moving forward from that? So what if you put, let's just say you put a meditation practice out there and you're like, I'm going to do that until December 1st. Well, you can celebrate that you accomplished it, but what balance do you need to move forward with it? Are you going to be taking that forward? Are you going to be doing something additional with that? Are you going to continue it? I found a lot of value from it. I want to keep going. Okay, then why aren't you? What's the next step? And these are the questions that Vesta, as she retrogrades back into Gemini, are going to be asking. Maybe it is even as simple as, what does spiritual mean to you? Maybe Queen of Pentacles. Maybe that's where we're at in this journey, in your journey of the 3D, the mundane, the monetary aspects of life. Maybe your journey starts with, through all of that, how do I be spiritual? Is it spiritual, quote unquote, whatever that means for you and what that means to you, to achieve, to have all of these things? Everybody has a different journey. Everyone has a different journey. There are some spiritual journeys that will take you all the way down to, becoming a monk. And that is a beautiful, beautiful journey. That is not everybody's journey, though. So what is your journey to inner fulfillment, to earthly fulfillment? How are you working on your mind, your mindset, as it pertains to some of these things, like your spiritual purpose, your dedication to practices that support your spiritual growth? Whoa, like cards all over the place. Queen of Cups. So we've got two queens out. We've got a King of Swords, and we've got the Ace of Cups that just wanted to pop out as we were talking about the dedications to practice to support spiritual growth. The blending of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, taking the action that you know that you need. Vesta will be here to support you in her retrograde to understand maybe what you need action to take on. But your spiritual growth and fulfillment is there. It's there for the taking. It's there for the overfilling of your cup. It's there to literally douse you in the most joyous and best ways. And it's understanding from this knowledge perspective, right? I look at this King of Swords as high knowledge. It's from this knowledge perspective that Vesta, then once she kind of cleans out all the things in Gemini and begins to move forward again, that as she moves forward, here comes this Queen of Cups, she will move forward then back into the realm of home, the realm of Cancer, the Queen of Cups. So it's this, again, high up on top is the spiritual knowledge, the spiritual fulfillment, but you get that through the blending of this King of Swords, Gemini, the understanding, that higher knowledge, and then bringing that with the Queen of Swords into the realm of home of Cancer, which is where then she is going next. So that is Vesta retrograde in Gemini. Let me get these back here. And now let's get into Capricorn season. First off, all Capricorns out there, happy season. Happy birthday to each of you. Happy solar return and born day. I know many, many, many Capricorns in my life. I love whether they be rising signs, moon signs, or sun signs, and love each of them dearly. Capricorn energy absolutely aligns a lot with, you know, my energy and what I cultivate as a personality style. So let's get in now that we've got these shuffled, because look, we need good, clean energy on this Capricorn talk. All right, Capricorn season. I am going to start with the breakdown for Capricorn season, what it looks like from a date perspective, all of the kind of major ingresses, lunations, stations that will happen. We'll go through then Capricorn as a zodiac energy, as the zodiac sign, talk through a little bit more about Capricorn, and then get into our Twitchy tip of the week. So Capricorn season breakdown, 12/23. In Capricorn, Mercury will retrograde for Capricorn season, 4 of Pentacles. Foundation moving forward. That is our overall energy Capricorn season wise. 12/23, Mercury will retrograde back into Sagittarius, 2 of Wands. Coming back, finding that fire, finding that passion again. And then on 12/26, we will have the Cancer full moon, as well as Chiron stationing direct in Aries. On 12/29, Venus will head into Sagittarius. On 12/30, Jupiter will station direct. On 1/1, Mercury will station direct. On 1/4, Mars will ingress into Capricorn. Then on 1/11, of course, portal day, 1/11, we will have the Capricorn new moon. And we have the 8 of Pentacles wanting to show up, that Capricorn new moon. Work, work, work. Work, work, work. Let's get our work on. Let's get our dedication to our craft on. Let's pop out all of the pentacles that we can during this time. And then on 1/12, Juno will head retrograde. And on 1/13, Mercury will head back into Capricorn. So, you know, nothing major happening during Capricorn season, as always, per the usual. There's a lot happening in Capricorn season, and we love it. We love this energy. I personally love this energy. Its ruler is Saturn. Capricorn as a zodiac sign is ruled by the planet Saturn. It is the high priestess coming out. It is a feminine, receptive, cardinal earth sign. So Capricorn season being a cardinal season means that we are starting a new season, a new 3-month cycle. So this is where Yule comes in at, which we'll talk about Yule here in a moment, the winter solstice. Its key phrase is I use. I kind of come back to this 4 of Pentacles. What do I use to set my foundations? It rules the bones, the skin, and the knees in the body. And when I saw that, and I saw those 3 together, I was like, that is so interesting that Capricorn literally rules all of the things on our body that hold you together and help you achieve. If we didn't have bones for our structure, we'd be a blob mess, right? We wouldn't be able to stand up and do things and grab things. I mean, even the fact that I can grab these cards. And the skin keeps everything on the inside. It keeps us protected. And so like all of the things that Capricorn does, it rules in the body the things that allow you to stay as a cohesive unit inside, as a human being, as this structure, to help you then begin to achieve what you want to achieve. The Lovers. It's this blended harmony and unity working together to get you to the highest points possible in the earthly realm. It is the ruler of the 10th house, the house of achievement. And its sigil is the mountain goat. And yes, we're talking about those goats that literally like the ledge that's like no wider than this piece of paper, and they're just sitting hanging off of it by like one tooth and a hoof and climbing a mountain that way. And you're like, how do they do that? that's the imagery and the animal, the sigil associated with Capricorn. So I'll continue to say it. Capricorn, work, 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 work. We, my bestie and we always laugh during Capricorn season. We're like, we're just here, Capricorning away, Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Here we go. You can really get so much done during any Capricorn season. So it's where this, coming back to this Four of Pentacles, and I'm going to pull another one. Yeah. Eight of Wands. So it's where this effort meets the reward. So your effort here in the Eight of Pentacles, what you actually do and put towards things, that effort comes in now with your Four of Pentacles, this reward, not just reward, but another key Capricorn signature is respect. It's the achievement piece of it. It's the respect that you have put in a lot of hard work to achieve something really grand. And you earned all of that through the action that you took. There's a stark seriousness about Capricorn. It's no bullshit. It's no bullshit Capricorn season. It's no bullshit with Capricorns themselves. It's a reality check. That doesn't make sense. Why are you doing it that way? Hey, I'm hanging from a mountain ledge here. You need to move or I can't move. And if you ain't going to move, I'm going to knock your ass off so that way I can keep climbing because you're not going to interfere with me. And then in that higher capacity of Capricorn, it is, how can I show my achievements and be able to achieve, but help others then to know that they can achieve as well. So maybe it's not so much as I'm going to knock you off this mountain if you don't get out of my way, but you know what? I'm going to need you to step to the side of this ledge real quick. Let me go first so I can show you the way forward. Just kind of gave you two examples of that higher perspective of Capricorn and that like even keel starkness, seriousness of Capricorn. And I love that this season always comes Tower coming out at the bottom of the deck. I did pick my deck up and this was the card that was left at the bottom. There is this starkness into Capricorn season. It's always Capricorn leads us into the next calendar year through the Gregorian calendar. And it is, what do we want to take into 2024? What can we leave behind? Because no matter what, Capricorn has that insight and that far sight with Saturn being its ruler to say, hey, if you don't let that go, this Tower is going to happen. I can't tell you when. I don't know if it's going to be in Aquarius season. Maybe it's going to be in Leo season. Who knows? Maybe it might not happen for 2 years in another eclipse cycle. Maybe it's not this eclipse cycle, but guaranteed it's going to happen. So how can we already go into the year kind of avoiding some of these pitfalls? And this is where Mercury, already being in Capricorn, retrograding back, can really help align us with that. What needs to be left behind to move forward? Capricorn is really cold. Saturn is a cold energy in general. It's frank. And it really honestly delights my red personality. It just is so pleasing to all of my redness of, it's time to get it done. It's time to do the work. It's that understanding. Oh, this one came out before. Look, we got the Five of Swords out again. And we have the Five of Pentacles out again. You want to talk about cold? This is cold. This is that cold frankness of Capricorn. Cold frankness of Capricorn. Shit is happening. Things are going to change. Are you ready? No? then you better do the work to get it done. And it's also this stark understanding that you will always be doing the work. There will never not be a time as you exist on this earthly plane that there isn't something for you to be working on yourself towards some sort of goal. It's the nature of living. There's always change that's going to occur. These are both fives, high change. Our world is changing. Just the very nature of Capricorn season elicits the fact of change. It is a cardinal sign. It is good at understanding that change and what we need to do with that change. And these two cards really align with what I wanted to talk about next with Capricorn season. And it really like ties together this next total season from Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So taking us from the winter solstice to the spring equinox, which is when Aries season starts. One of the greatest gifts of this time, these three signs, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, one of the greatest gifts that they bestow upon the earthly realm is the fact and the understanding and the undeniable reality that we are all going to die. That is one of their greatest gifts. The starkness, the stark reality of we are all going to die. We have a limited time here. So how do we make the most of it? That's what Capricorn focuses on. It focuses on this Five of Pentacles, the limits that we can handle because we have a body. Remember, we're all tucked together in skin and bones and our kneecaps, apparently. We're all tucked together. And how can the body and the confines of this earthly experience, like we have limits. There are limits to what we can do with our bodies. There are limits to what we can do in the earthly realm. So it's this Capricorn helping us focus on what can we actually achieve with the limits that we know that we have inside of our body, inside of this earthly experience. What can we actually achieve then through that? Because we can push those boundaries. Maybe our boundaries today are not going to be our boundaries in 30 years, and our boundaries now might not have been our boundaries 1,000 years ago, but there are boundaries in this earth. That's what Saturn is all about. It's what the gift of Capricorn is all about. So how within those boundaries, and are they self-imposed boundaries? Like, let's ask this Five of Swords that question. Are these self-imposed boundaries? What kind of tower moment do you need to have with your own boundaries? It helps you to get into this mindset. I'm going to go back to this overall Capricorn energy of Four of Pentacles, that you have a birthright. You came here, your soul, your Ori came here with a plan. Came here wanting to experience certain things, came here wanting to understand certain things, came here wanting to live to its fullest capacity. And that is your birthright to have that occur, to live in alignment with your destiny, whatever that might be for you. And what Capricorn season can help you get in the mindset of is, through what you want to experience through these next three signs, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, how are we actually being a steward of our soul, a steward of our destiny? Are you being a good steward? Are you being a wasteful steward? Like, what does that look? Where do you sit in that? Where do you sit in that? What needs to happen to get that change from, hey, I'm a great steward, I'm doing all the things I need to do. Awesome. What's next? to, nope, not being a steward of my soul, my destiny path. What do I need to do to get there? That is what this season can really begin to hone in. And that's that gift of Capricorn. And it lasts. That's the other thing is that might be what we start on this earthly realm, but then we get to take it into the air of Aquarius. We get to take it into the high, deep, beautiful waters of Pisces. We get to take it on this journey and explore into the higher realms about what that actually means for us. Before then, we can drop right into Aries, bring it right back down and find that passion and energy to begin to make changes into the next cycle of our next cycle of life. Which brings me, speaking of cycles, to Yule and the winter solstice. So Capricorn season marks and embarks us. Page of Swords, boom, marks and embarks us into the winter solstice. It is the longest night of the year. It's one of those stark reminders that just like Capricorn, the earth no longer supports those that dwell on it. The earth doesn't support us during this time, and death has truly taken hold. So it is this reminder that, yep, we've got this moment where it's the longest night of the year. We've got the earth isn't supporting, death has taken hold. How are we getting through? And what that looks like and what our work truly then becomes as we work with these cyclical energies, as we work with as nature intended, it becomes the preparation for this time through the process of starting with the spring equinox, which is Ostara, and ending with the autumn equinox, which is Mabon. So as you sit here and as we get to the longest night of the year, as we get to this reality, did we do enough during our harvest to get us through the coldest months of the year, to get us through this season where we aren't supported by the earth that we live on in the same way that we were prior, in this same way that we are from Ostara to Mabon, from the spring to the autumn equinox? And if not, this is the time to begin to plan how you want your next cycle to go. Because we're going to get to the spring equinox. We're going to get to Ostara with Aries season. So start now preparing and understanding, okay, what do I need to do different going into next year? And most of all, the most important thing about Yule and the winter solstice and, working with nature and being on this natural cyclical process, it is a reminder to celebrate and be in gratitude that even in our darkest hours, the sun will always rise again. This moment is, yes, the longest night of the year, the darkest moment of the year, the tower moment, the literal definition of a dark night of a soul. And yet this moment is what turns and changes the clock into the lighter half of the year. This is all the sun has to get through. And then the next day, the sun rises and it stays risen for a little bit longer and a little bit longer and a little bit longer, every day working towards its apex. So it is this understanding that light is found and rebirth occurs. Whoa, cards. This Five of Pentacles, dark night of the soul, cold is here. But guess what? On the other side, we have been rebirthed. Rebirth has occurred. We will be fruitful again. There is light on the other side of this tunnel. There's fulfillment on the other side of this. And that is such a moment where we can be in gratitude for understanding that cycle and how those cycles play out in our own life, in our own experience, in our own journey. What we can take away from just observing nature and observing some of these ancient earth-based traditions that allow us this glimpse into this cycle. On X, I did post the link to the live celebration from Stonehenge for Yule. They will be doing a live view of the celebration that occurs at Stonehenge in the UK on Yule. That can be found on X. And if you want to be part of that experience, you can head out there, you can watch, you can observe, you can partake. And I will also be doing a Yule All Signs Tarot reading this Sunday to get us through the next 3 zodiac signs, making our way to the zodiac new year, making our way to the spring equinox and Aries season, making our way into the next cycle. What do we have? Page of Pentacles. Making our way into the next cycle of complete abundance and rebirth and fruition, and beginning kind of that energetic process all over again. I may do a Wheel of the Year spread. I'm still kind of feeling it out. So if you do have, I'm not really sure, I haven't gotten the message yet. So if you have any suggestions, hit me up. Let me know in the comments if you are like, dude, I would really love a spread that looks like this as we get into this Yule All Signs Tarot reading. All right. That concludes all of the fantastic astrological messages. Before we unveil this week's Twitchy tip, I would like to absolutely invite you during this season, getting into the next calendar year, to explore more of what Habitual Sages has to offer. If you are finding value in our cosmic journey, consider giving us a high five, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, share out these videos, check out some of our other videos, spread it around to the community. We are also active on X with exclusive content that you can't get on other social platforms. So if that is more of a preferred method for you, is to be on X and using X, we are there. We've got you. We stream live there as well. And same thing, give us a follow and share out to your community. While you're at it, it is also not too late. I know I just talked about the Yule All Signs Tarot reading. The December All Signs Tarot reading is still up. It's for the whole month of December. We are only on the 12th. So you can absolutely head over to that video, which is on YouTube, and it's chaptered so you can go straight to your sign and get all the details and guidance for the month. And to join our thriving community, you want to head to www.habitualsages.com and become part of the Sage Circle. Subscribe to our email list to help our mission of helping 1 million people heal, thrive, and grow. Speaking of Capricorn season, speaking of the work, I have got a very, very exciting announcement coming out on Capricorn season as it pertains to the next stage of Habitual Sages, what we're going to be offering in 2024. And the Sage Circle is going to know first. So if you want to be in the know before anybody else, make sure to head to the website, subscribe to the Sage Circle, and you're gonna get the email. You're gonna get the in the know first, and then we will obviously, yes, talk about it here as well after Capricorn season is in full effect. Twitchy tip of the week, rounding out. Okay, we only got one-ish. Twitchy tip of the week. I already said this earlier, but as a reminder, we get the Mercury retrograde we deserve. So this truly aligns, and we talked about it in December or in November as we were preparing for December. How are we working with delayed gratification? How are we choosing to show up for ourselves, to show up for others, to show up just in general, as a spiritual being having a human experience, on how we hold the vision and trust the process? How do you do that? How do you even hold the vision, trust the process? I talk about it all the time, but what, like, in practice does that look like? Well, this is why we have Twitchy tips of the week. Wait. Wait. Don't press send on that message. Wait. Take the Abraham Lincoln approach. Write it out. Put it in a box. Let it sit there. Hold it. Don't press send. Type it out. Delete it. Wait on the Amazon order. Do you really need it? Wait on the purchase that you're looking at. Do you really need a new car right now? Do you really need all of these things? Why? Wait. Observe. Observe how you respond. Observe delaying that gratification. Again, we are a culture in today's society, especially in America, where we can get very, very frequently, often right at the touch of our fingertips. Our whole marketing system is designed on instant gratification. Well, if that's how it's designed, how do we then apply delayed gratification in our life? Ask yourself the right questions. Hold the vision, trust the process. Ask yourself the right questions. Why do you want the things that you want? Does this get you to the next step in your journey? Does it align with your values and your goals? If the answer is no, then why are you getting it? Because I want it? Okay, that's a reason. But again, the more that we work with delayed gratification, the more that we work this month with holding the vision, trusting the process, the more that we work in these spaces, we get the Mercury retrograde we deserve. There could be something bigger, better out there. We don't know. Options. What are your options? Can you wait until Mercury's done? Can you wait until after the first of the year? It's also why we have, trusty divination tools. We can ask better questions. We can get guidance. But ultimately, we're the ones that have to make the decision to take the action. That's where we're at. All right. That was the Twitchy tip of the week. That means we are done. 12/12 on this amazing Sagittarius new moon. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Twitchy Tuesday. I will see you all next week. And yes, stay tuned that all zodiac signs Yule reading will be out. Maybe Sunday, might be into Monday, just depends upon how I'm feeling after I travel this week. So we will see you all next week right here. Bye, everyone.